clouds, air, and sea. Then winds blew from the north, south, east, and west, carried with them the clouds and met at the center of the heavens. The winds and clouds traveled with such force that they became a strong whirlwind, and the whirlwind transformed into a larawan, an awesome, indescribable image with 7 strands of hair. The image dwelt in and wafted with the mist, gazed around and up and down, and saw that nothing looked pleasant. So the image thought that he must do something. There is only a vast expanse of sea. I am going to make dry lands. He then plucked out one of his hair and dropped it into the vastness of the sea, and said, "You will be turned into dry lands." And dry ground rose from the currents and tides below. As the first day ended, he looked around again to see what was lacking. On the second day, the image pulled off his second strand of hair and dropped it on the dry lands and said, "You will become beautiful mountains." And the virgin earth gave birth to beautiful mountains. On the third day, the image removed his third piece of hair and thought of more beautiful and useful things for the earth. He dropped the air to the mountains and it turned into trees, grasses, and all the good things that could be found in them. On the fourth day, the image thought of making images in his likeness. So he picked his fourth piece of hair and dropped it on the mountains. And each mountain where the hair fell came to resemble his appearance. Then it happened that the mountains that had become like the great image became thirsty. So the image thought that something must be lacking in the things he had made. He took his fifth piece of hair and dropped it down. When the hair touched the ground, creeks and rivers appeared and gushed forth with running water. The images heard the sound of rippling waters, and they set out to look for it rightly, thinking it would quench their thirst. They drank the water and felt thirsty no more, and the image above them was pleased. On the sixth day the image became restless again, looking about and thinking of the things he had made. He felt dissatisfied and thought some things were still lacking, so he pulled his sixth strand of hair and dropped it down. It became all the things that humans, the images, need to survive, food in the forests and rivers, animals and edible plants. On the seventh day, the image looked around him and found that everything he created was pleasant and beautiful. He rested and thought of other things that he still needed to do. As the image rested, the images he had created in his likeness met in the creeks and rivers where they drank water. They lived without shame because there was nothing to be ashamed of. They were happy to find one another, but they could not understand each other at first because they spoke different languages. For a time, they used signs and other means of communication until they finally understood one another. After some time, 2 of the images became united in love. The union bore them a son called Bukidnon and a daughter named Bukidnon, the first ancestors of Bukidnon.